Hi, my name is K-Trina Pickard, and I am the founder of Solomon's Porch Ministry. And on today's episode of Hope Rising, we have a special panel of people that I love to call friends and sisters in Christ. Today, we are going to look behind the scenes of what it takes to build a nonprofit for the unhoused community. And here with me today is the Vice President, Wanda McDonald, and our treasurer, Beth Burney. Welcome, ladies. We're
Hello.
so glad to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you for setting this up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So today is a casual conversation because we've had people come up and say, hey, what are you doing and how are you doing it? And can you share what it looks like? So we're going to go over some topics of like our volunteers and our board and our committee and what we're discussing and how we're moving forward. We're going to take a look at our outreach teams, community involvement, and what I think the most important is how does this impact our spiritual life and how is it impacting our community's spiritual life? Let's talk about our volunteers.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Well, I would just say that our volunteers, we can't do it without them. There are so many moving parts, which is incredible to see how this ministry, we just don't go out and feed food. Like that, I've seen a lot where that's what you do, but I mean, you've built a beautiful clothes mobile. You and Josh have built a beautiful clothes mobile that allows for us to serve in that capacity. But you know, we're serving food, we're serving snacks, we're taking care of their hygiene needs, but also their pets, because their pets are important parts also. So making sure they get fed and giving haircuts. I mean, there's a bunch of moving parts, and without all of our volunteers showing up and coming out, and not to mention really the most important part is the personal conversations and the prayer. And so our prayer team, making sure that we're getting all those prayer needs in so that we can be praying for.
Right. And our prayer needs just doesn't share it to our group. It actually goes out to our North Church group.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty amazing because we know our prayer team at North Church, they are very dedicated prayer warriors.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I'm loving to see the most right now is how our volunteers are coming to life. Like many of them came, and the first time they were there, they were a bit shy and reserved, but now you see them and they're part of everything.
One of the greatest things I like about our volunteers is that they bring their children. And I remember one lady, I'm not going to name her name, but she brings her son, and he's, I think, like 8 years old, and he's handing out food, and he's saying, thank you, and everybody just puts a great big smile on their face, and they love to see that involvement. And it's great for training up your child as well. Yeah. So either one of you, can you talk about some small wins we have when we're out there serving?
Yeah. So Beth hit on it. We started out the clothing section as just a rack. We had a rack. It would blow over with the wind. We tried the zip ties to keep it in place. We did all the things. And we've gone from that to what is a beautiful, functional, indoor, outdoor. I mean, it's perfect, our clothes mobile. So it's set up. We've got about 40 feet of hanging space. We've got places for shoes, underwear, all types of things, the blankets and all the things that we need that we're giving out. And now we're able to arrange how many people we bring in and through in almost a flow. So we know how long it takes to get 50 or 60 people through now. So we've come a long way, and that is a huge win, that we can serve. We really can serve all of the people that come there with no problem now.
Yes, and I love how we have a mix of men and women. This last time that we served, there was an elderly lady there, and we got her a plate of food, and we got her a bag of snacks, and we got her a drink, but she was walking with a cane. So how do you manage a plate of food, a bag of snacks, the drink, and her cane? And this wasn't even, she didn't even go in the clothes mobile, right? So one of our volunteers, a male volunteer, because we have to think about safety, actually escorted her back over to her place over at the Homeless Alliance. And that meant a lot to her because he was able to balance some food in the bag as well as put a hand on her elbow to keep her steady and not tripping. Yeah.
I think another win that we have is we've had only one stylist or cutting
Barber,
hair, and now we've added a female barber. Okay, so we have 3. And so I think that's huge because a lot can be said for just having a fresh haircut.
Yes.
And making you feel good. You know, we all know what a fresh haircut can do to us. It just kind of gives us a little boost.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that probably for them too, it's like, oh yes, a little fresh, you know. And so I think that's been really great.
So right now we're the board, we're the committee, right?
Yeah.
And we have a lot going on.
Yeah, we do.
And you may be wondering, thank you for asking, that we have a lot going on. What is going on?
Yeah.
So let's start with the acquisition of donations. You know, we have them come in all sorts of ways. Text messaging, Facebook messaging, phone calls, and I don't know what other ways, but Amazon wish list, that's right. So it takes a lot of effort to coordinate that to make it less stressful for the person who's donating. So we've had people go all the way to Guthrie to pick up a donation for us. And then we arrange picking them up at the church or however we can to get them to the clothesmobile or the hygiene team or whatever they are. Yeah. So either one of you want to touch on that too?
Yeah, I think this week, you know, we got a clothes donation, and it really is coordinating. Okay, when are you going to be at church? Okay, my kiddo's going to be at church at that same day. Okay, can you meet with her and can you get those clothes into her car, and then she'll get them to me and then I'll get them to you. You know, so there's a lot of moving parts when we're trying to get those donations, but they're vital to us being able to provide all of the needs for our homeless community, and they need clothes. And when it's cold outside, you know, they're layering as much as clothes that they can so that they can stay warm. And so, but yes, there are a lot of moving parts of how do we get those things. And
right. And the whole goal is to make it less stressful for the person donating. Yeah. Yeah. Wanda, do you have any?
So we'll get into this part a little bit later, but I've been going around and attending some social networking type events and just kind of getting the word out about Solomon's Porch Ministry. And by letting them know about our clothing needs there, that's another source where we'll get people who say, oh yeah, I just cleaned out my garage. And then it's just a matter of meeting up with them to get the clothes dropped off, you know, just coordinated in whatever way is most convenient for them. Like Beth said, that's what we're doing. That's where we are right now. Maybe a vision for the future is we have a place where those things can be conveniently dropped off in multiple sites, but we're not there yet, but we're going to get there. Yeah. We're going to get there.
Yeah. So another thing the board is doing is nothing that we're doing is done by chance. Wanda and Beth and I are in constant communication. Sometimes it's like, okay, we're turning phone off, you know, and we need those good boundaries, but we are constantly in communication with each other, and we're setting goals and we're accomplishing goals, and we do set realistic, achievable goals monthly and long term. Jumping from that, let's talk about the safety aspects. Many of you may wonder, well, how safe is it? Do you run into any issues? If you do, how do you handle them? Well, that is something that we have talked about a lot, and we are going to be doing some training videos. A lot of people that we serve are in addiction. We're not here to judge that, but what happens if they would have an overdose? Well, we actually have training and some Narcan on hand to help with that while somebody else is dedicated to call 911 and to get the professionals there as soon as possible. The other things we have in place is the layout. So we can easily do a 360 view and we can see all of our volunteers.
We have a buddy system so that we're not going anywhere outside of our view without somebody with us.
And we have accountability measures too. So and K-Trina and Josh are primarily the ones who make sure that they're the last ones to leave the site. So they'll stand there and they'll pretend to just be chatting with each other, but really what they're doing is making sure that everyone has gotten into their car and they have pulled off, and then that's when K-Trina and Josh will leave. So there's no man left behind.
That's right.
And that's part of it.
And we have something new we're implementing. We are ordering Solomon's Porch t-shirts.
Yes.
This way they are going to be visibly, our volunteers are going to be visibly recognizable with just a glance. Yeah. And that's something new.
Yep.
And Beth is actually organizing that for us.
Yep. So hopefully by the next time we go out, we'll have those shirts, which also makes it really easy if we have questions that we know who to go to and ask about particular things. And so the shirts are going to be a really nice addition to our team.
Now there's quite a bit of logistics I know that I face, because I have both of the trailers that we use at my place. And if you don't know me, I don't live near the church or our serving area. I love living out in the country, and so I sacrifice the drive for it. But we have a utility trailer that has our tents and our chairs and our tables and all the things we need, for example, plates and utensils and tablecloths, and what else am I missing?
Bowls, cups,
grills.
Sometimes a grill, all the cleaning supplies that we need.
That's right.
Sandbags for the tents.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you load up on that thing.
So, of course, I'm only one person, so each month I call on a volunteer who can, number one, drive a standard, because both my trucks are standards, and number two, who has experience with pulling a trailer. It doesn't have to be just men. It can be women if they know those two things. That has to be put in place prior to the day of serving. I know at one time I took one of the trailers all the way to Guthrie the night before, and the person just met us there. So the logistics of it, we do a lot behind the scenes. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but because we want this mission to succeed. And to succeed, we have to be planners and preparers.
I will say, and we'll probably get to it, but one thing about this ministry is, we're so new, still very new, that we're trying to develop donors that will kind of support. We're so blessed by our volunteers, because our volunteers have donated their time for free, buildings, helping you with the trailers, but also providing our food. All of our food is our volunteers. Absolutely. Cooking it, buying it, bringing it out. And so that has been really, really helpful to watch our volunteers show up big.
Yeah.
So we have one of our committees is a fundraising committee, which is necessary in any nonprofit. And we're really just getting the ball rolling on that. A campaign that we're launching right now is to get 100 donors to donate $10 a month for 12 months, which is $12,000 for the year. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it kind of just gives us a baseline of what we need to cover a typical month. We will have to go beyond that, but our goal for this first year is to get that going. And so we're going to start that campaign here within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have put so much work into getting that set up, finding the right thing. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate you for doing that, because it's going to, she is my go-to person. Yeah, she is my right-hand person. She is amazing.
Yeah.
I met Wanda through INSOM, which is North Church School of Ministry. So if you haven't been through, if you're a North Church person watching this and you have not been through that that program. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
get signed up for it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we talked about wins a while ago, I just thought of something that was a big win. I don't remember what month it was, but we had a case manager come over from the Homeless Alliance. And she said, I really love what y'all are doing, but I really love that you provide tables for the guests to sit at to eat, because they don't get that. And I was like, wow, it was nice to hear that. That's a win, because we're providing something as simple as a chair and a table for them to sit at.
Well, when you think about it, they spend the majority of their time sitting on the ground.
Yes.
Sitting or sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
So to eat all their meals or whatever, so the opportunity for them just to sit at a table and have a meal where dirt and all the things aren't flying into it, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. We don't think about it,
No.
but it matters to them.
I mean, I don't go in my living room and sit on my floor and eat my food.
Right.
I rarely sit on the ground to eat. We don't think about that. We're sitting on a couch or we're sitting at a table. And so I think that there's some value to make them feel valued. Like, we want to feed you a good meal, but we want to make sure you have a good place to sit to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our teams. Oh my gosh. Before we start on that, let me tell you where we started. Right now, we only have 3 original people who started this with us. But we were a team of 10 people, approximately, serving 40 people. Now we have a team of close to 70 volunteers, and we fed 151 meals this past serving date. Amazing. Now, that didn't count all the haircuts and all the extras you've already heard about. So I'm going to list all of our teams, and then we're going to go back and talk about them. So we have our cooking team, we have our serving team, we have our snack team, we have our clothing team, we have our pet team, and hygiene, and haircut team, and prayer team. And we even have our production team who is making this video. So, wow, what a growth to be able to talk about going from 10 people to 70 and no teams to all of these teams. So I'm going to start off by talking about our cooking team, because
rock stars, hands down.
Man.
I mean, these folks are getting a gourmet meal every time I stand next to them I never get to try any of it.
I know, right?
But I look at it and go, how do you cook the masses that they cook for? And it smells delicious, and it looks delicious, and it's warm.
Yes.
They keep it hot, so they manage to keep it hot. I mean, Relisha and Tony.
Oh, yeah. So one of the things about getting to know them is this: they have a heart for cooking and cooking together. That is one of the things they do in their marriage that just helps solidify their marriage, is that they cook together. And I could just see them. They have such fun, such humor. And, it starts the week after our serving. She's already planning the menu. She's already telling me this is what we need. And we do have some volunteers who help provide different ingredients, right? And then we have to get it to her, and then she prepares the scrumptious, and I just smell it, and
and it's never the same.
No.
It's never the same. I mean, we had chicken spaghetti this last time.
Yes.
But we've had chili. We've had chicken. The chicken.
The soups.
The soups. I mean, they're never coming and seeing the same meal over and over. It's always something different.
Right. And we've actually grilled on site.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the people we served says, "This is some good meat. We don't ever get good meat. This is good meat."
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because, one of the things we're trying to do with our meals, we don't want to go skimpy. We want to provide them what we would eat as a meal. We want it nutritious. We want it balanced. And you got to have a sweet with it. I mean, you got to have your dessert.
Yes.
And Relisha has even gotten to the point where she is making a vegetarian meal in addition to the meat meal for those, because it was requested. And she's like, well, I didn't think about that, but I'll have it next month. And she does that. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
They're an amazing team.
Yeah.
So let's move to the serving team, which you help out with a lot,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah. I think the big one win that we had this month is that you did the trays with the packaged silverware. You know, because we do have several people that come through our line where they have friends or loved ones that can't walk to the line, so they get 2 trays. And so we like to be able to have a lid that they can close and carry with them if they don't want to stay there and eat, or if they need to carry back. So that's been great. Our team that serves on there, you know, they come through the line, they get their tray, they get their silverware, they get their salad and their main dish and their bread, they get their dessert, because I mean, we love Jesus, and so we need a dessert. And they get their dessert, and then they get some snacks. They get the opportunity to choose some snacks, and that way they can take things with them later. And so that service team is really important. Just, you know, we want to stand behind that line. We want to look them in the eye. We want to ask them how their day is. And it's so amazing to hear so many of them come through with such gratitude for the meal that they're getting to eat. You know,
I've even heard some of them call us by name because we have name tags.
Yes. You know, I think it's important to have not just junk snacks. You know, we want to have the cracker packages are great because they have a little bit of protein in them for the peanut butter. Having some Cheez-Its or some kind of cracker, but some kind of chips or cookies or fruit snacks are really good. You know, so somebody brought a whole bunch of Peeps this last time, and I guess they loved them because they took all the Peeps.
Yep.
And so, but you know, just having a variety of snack, not just having one thing, but offering them. I think it's important to give people a choice.
Yes.
I think they need to be able to choose the things that they want to eat, because if we're just choosing it for them, they're probably going to trash it. They're just like it. Homelessness does not mean they're not wasteful.
Exactly.
They're still wasteful if they're not getting things that they enjoy. And so we want to be sure that we're giving them the choice. Everybody deserves a choice. So
I don't know if y'all know this, but we gave out over 48 pounds of dog food this last time.
that's so awesome.
In fact, we had a donation that was given to one of our volunteers, and it was still in her trunk. And I went and I got it, and it was dog food, and we added to that number. And we've also implemented cat food and collars, and sometimes jackets, leashes, those little round things that can be used for water, like a dish for water or food. Yeah, so we've gone through that. The haircut team, we started out with one barber, and this last month we had a new barber join us and a hairstylist join us. Yeah. And I think between the two of them, they did close to 14 to 15 haircuts. And if we had the other barber there, we probably would have done a lot more than that.
I think the pets thing is so big because they're companions.
Yes.
And it's so important that they can provide for their companion that's there with them all the time. Sometimes they make a choice of not going somewhere because they have that pet. That's how important it is to them. And so I don't think that all the folks that go out and give donations really think about that. So I think it's special that we do.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize that some of the shelters don't allow the pets. Right. So one of the things that we also do is we try to take care of our community out there. So when we're done, we have a lot of trash. You have 151 meals. You're going to have to-go containers. You're going to have the wind. Okay, it's Oklahoma. We're going to have the wind. It's going to end. Some of that stuff is going to end up on the ground. But when we leave, we make sure that it is clean or cleaner than when we left. And we take the trash with us. And I actually have a dumpster that I share with my neighbors, and it goes all into that dumpster. So we want to take community responsibility by taking that trash with us and leaving the business who has generously allowed us to set up in their driveway to be able to say we like them because they clean up after.
I just want to say one thing about K-Trina. The very first time we went out to Solomon's Porch, I was amazed because it literally is 2 hours. It's so efficient, you know, and the systems that she has put into place in the organization that she has, and all the thoughts, there's a million thoughts running through her head in that day, in that 2 hours. But, you know, she's taking time to make sure she's snapping pictures, but making sure that she's meeting needs of our guests that are coming, and making sure that her volunteers are taken care of. But I remember walking away from that day and going, wow, that was an amazing experience, because it was so organized and handled so professionally. It's always so professionally done. And we can very quickly just run out. I think it says a lot for your heart for this ministry and how much you care about it by the work that you put into it as being the founder. That helps us follow, because we see what you're doing. You know, I just think there's a lot to be said, because it's easy to go out and throw food at people. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot more effort to think about the kind of work we want to do, and the kind of ministry we want to lead, and the way we want to love people well. Absolutely. And the representation of Jesus that we really want to be. Because there's a lot that go out and go, well, I serve Jesus because I threw some food at some people today. Well, there's so much more about making sure that our homeless community feels valued and loved. And I think you have just really led the way, and we thank you for being faithful.
You know, one of the things I love is that we're just not partners, we're friends.
Yeah.
And this is how we act, even in meetings. Yeah. We laugh at, you know, ourselves and each other.
Yeah.
And it's okay, because we work through that. So you will hear two terms. You will hear unhoused community, and you will hear the homeless. So what is the difference, and why do we use the unhoused community for the most part when describing Solomon's Porch ministry? So the unhoused is not just made up of people who are on the streets without a house. Every year, the Homeless Alliance is involved in what they call point in contact or something like that. I'm sorry, I may have got that wrong. But anyway, what they do is they go out there and they try to count how many people are unhoused. So last year, they just did it recently. They haven't published the results yet. But last year in the Oklahoma City area, there was 1,800 people estimated to be unhoused. Now, the reason why we say unhoused is because there's even more that are jumping from couch to couch, meaning that they'll stay with their brother for a week, then they'll stay with their cousin for a week, then they'll stay with a friend for a week. So they're technically homeless, but they still have a roof over their house. So that's why we say unhoused versus homeless. So I just wanted to take a moment to clear that up in case anybody had any questions about that. I actually saw someone get offended when that unhoused word was used. So there's the background history with that. So our vision for Solomon's Porch is not to just do what we're doing. What we're doing is great. I love it. It's beautiful. It's the hands and feet of Jesus going out into our community. Our goal at Solomon's Porch Ministry at the very basic level is to end homelessness. We want to be able to get the people who are able to get into a home or an apartment or a tiny home or a mobile home or a house that with a room. We have so many different options to explore in this area. And I'm going to be having a meeting with the Homeless Alliance next week at some point, and we're going to collaborate on how we can end homelessness together. Because if you ever go on their website, you will see that's their main goal. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's work with teams. Let's do this together, not in opposition as in one nonprofit is better than another, but as we are one team working to a common goal with different resources. So in a nutshell, that is the vision of Solomon's Porch Ministry. ladies, I just want to thank you for the conversation today, for
you.
sharing with our viewers where our heart is and what we're doing. And there's a couple of things before we close that I would like for you to consider. I'd like for you to consider becoming one of those 100 people who donate only $10 a month. If you decide that that's what you want, you can contact Wanda, Beth, or myself, or you can email solomonsporchministryokc@gmail.com, and we will get back with you. The other thing I'd like for you to consider is that we have an Amazon wish list. It is Solomon's Porch Ministry, and I'm sure you can look it up. It is a public wish list, and if you can order any of that, you can. And I believe we can put a code on at the end of this video so that you can find it fairly simple. If you want to volunteer with us, you can reach us at that email, or if you're part of North Church, you can go, we are a small group on the North Church app, and you can join and we will contact you. But most importantly, above all else, if you cannot physically serve with us or give, please pray for us. Please pray for the people that we are meeting and we are encountering. Because one thing that wasn't shared that's going to start happening is we're going to start presenting the Word of God at each meeting. We're in the works of getting speakers to where it will project well, and we're going to line up different speakers or use the same one. Because if we do all of this, but we're not meeting the soul's need for Jesus, then what are we doing it for? We are here to share the love of Jesus Christ with people who may not know what love really is. They have been taught a misconstrued type of love, and we want to show them the love of Christ. We have a lot of great things going on, and we can't do it without our board members, and we certainly can't do it with all of our volunteers who are so loving and giving and compassionate. And we thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And please take the action to get a hold of us. Just let us know you're praying. You can comment in the video that you're praying for us. You can comment in the video if you want to join up or work beside us. So, ladies, do y'all have anything you would like to add?
Just thank you. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your prayers. And for you too, thank you for your leadership and for being partners along the way.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Yep.